Here with Daniel Zellhuber, and we're at Jorge Capatillo's boxing gym. Hey, Daniel, what do you think about when you see all these legends on the wall and then that belt back there? What goes through your head, man?
You know, the first word that came to my mind is motivation. I feel that a lot of these guys accomplish great things in the sport, and I know that I'm still far away from those guys, but definitely I'm on my way. So that's the goal.
How do you make sure to think about the gold around your waist versus the money and the fame? How do you balance those two?
You know, I feel that the objective never was getting money or fame. And I feel that that's kind of like the problem right now with this generation, that everybody wants the money, everybody wants the fame. And if you ask to them, like, what are your goals in sport, everybody's like, oh, I want to be famous, I want to have money, I want this, that.
Yeah.
But my goal was always clear, you know. I know that I'm born to be a champion, and I know that I work as a champion, you know. I'm trained here surrounded by great athletes every day, great coaches. And I feel that kind of like that mindset is what is helping me to really achieve big things.
You're so young, I can ask you this question, but did you have MMA heroes growing up? Because MMA's been around now for a while. Or was it a guy like Julio Cesar Chavez and some of the other great Mexican boxers? What got you going first when it came to combat sports?
I started training because I suffered bullying in elementary school.
You got bullied?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's because I was a pretty small kid, like, you know, skinny.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like what first bring me to the sport.
Mm-hmm.
But then, of course, I started like watching all these amazing athletes. Of course, one of my first like great figures in sport was John Jones, because everybody was telling me like, hey, you can fight like him, hey, you have this style and that. And then when I kind of like get more into MMA was at the time that the first Ultimate Fighter in Mexico was streaming.
Yeah.
So one of the first fighters that I ever watched and really kind of like get a fandom with him is Yair, and now we're friends, you know. So it's funny because I remember watching him in the Ultimate Fighter, like really desiring to win, and when he won the tournament, and then his whole UFC career. So kind of like he's one of the guys too. And now, of course, in the course of my career, I've been like admiring a lot more fighters. So it's just like I try to don't admire the fighter more than his work ethic. So I try to see who the fighter is, not only fighting like in person, you know, like really see if he's a hard worker, if he's this and that, and kind of like try to imitate that part of great fighters.
About 2-3 years ago, I went to Extreme Couture, and one day there was like 4 or 5 Mexicans all getting ready for practice, talking Spanish. I recognized the accent. And now obviously there's a lot of Mexican fighters in the UFC. My question is, what brought you from Mexico to Las Vegas, and more specifically, I guess, Extreme Couture?
I started talking with Coach Eric on Instagram, because I remember my management agency, Upper Sport Man, he helped me to came here to Vegas. But I didn't have a coach, or he just told me like, you're gonna train at Extreme and that's it. And I knew that if I wanted to be a champion, I can only be one more in the group, you know. So I get in touch with Coach Eric, and then we start working together for my first UFC fight. I lost that fight, and then that's kind of like the moment when I realized that being here training is not enough to be successful. So that's when I searched for Coach Capetillo, for Coach Dewey, for Coach Hector. So I started like getting more and more coaches to really help me developing what it needs to be a world champion. And I feel that right now I'm in a good spot, you know. Since I built this team, I've been 3-0 in my last 3 fights. The last 2 was performance of the night bonus. I also get like 1 fight of the month. So I feel that it's just a matter of acknowledging where your mistakes at and try to improve those things. You know, like I never use the term fight camp because I don't believe in fight camps. I'm always training. Like even if you don't see it, but I feel that that's another thing that makes the difference between good fighters and great fighters. This is a lifestyle. I'm always training, I always eating well, and it's not only because I need to, it's because I love training, I enjoy it.
Last question, what do you have to say to all your fans out there, especially those bullies from when you were young? What's your message to them, because they changed your life?
Yeah, definitely. First of all, thank you, because you know, when you are a kid and you are going through stuff like that, you really don't understand why things are happening to you. But now when I look back in the mirror, I think, bro, that don't happen to me, probably I would be here in Vegas talking with you and training all these amazing athletes. So I feel that it's just more like a grateful feeling rather than still being mad or stuff like that.
You ever see the bullies? Are they like neighborhood bullies or school?
Oh yeah,
so you see them and you can laugh at it now?
Yeah,
that's funny.
No, they doesn't even talk to
They're
me.
probably your
That's
fans.
Funny, Yeah, it's funny how things turn out, but
Yeah.
again, I just try to take it as it is, like those kids bothering another kid. But I feel that kind of like helped me being the man that I am today.
Yeah.
And that helps me keeping improving in my life. So.
And great message to other kids that might be getting bullied as well. You can turn it around,